What is up, everybody? What is up? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to my weekly Wednesday Night War recap, reaction, and review show where I go over the happenings on AEW and NXT, hand out some awards, and then determine a winner for the show. I believe I gotta keep score on my scorecard, but I'm pretty sure right now after 6 weeks, we are standing at AEW at 4 wins and NXT at 2 wins. And AEW, they had Full Gear on Saturday. For anybody who doesn't know, because I didn't do a watch party reaction to that, I thoroughly enjoyed the show. I really enjoyed it. I thought that AEW was coming in here with a nice, good, big head of steam. And the long and short of it is I feel like AEW wasted a lot of the momentum they had going into and coming out of Full Gear. And I feel like they came out flat. And NXT took that opportunity. They continued to go hard. And they had a probably their most convincing win of the Wednesday Night War so far. By the way, I stream this stuff on Twitch at twitch.tv/idol_Murpho. So if you see there's a chat here, I will engage with the chat as people are chatting up and everything. So here we go. I'm going to start things off with AEW. We're going to go back and forth from segment to segment. So AEW started off with Kenny Omega. Backstage, you saw all the gruesome scars from his lights out match with Jon Moxley. Mox comes out, issues a challenge, he wrestles Nakazawa. Nakazawa says that he'll wrestle on Kenny's behalf for Omega. Nakazawa gets destroyed as expected, and Mox comes out and says that he's like basically issuing a challenge for anyone who thinks they're crazy enough to take him on. Pretty solid, decent start, not too bad. Meanwhile on NXT go hard. They had the Cruiserweight Championship match of Lio Rush versus Angel Garza, and that match was dope as hell. Those guys went hard. They went all out. Nice showmanship between the two. A little bit of a screwy finish. Garza's leg hit the rope as Rush wrapped him up. I don't know if that was designed or if that was just a happening and Garza just ran with it, but it was really good. Solid, awesome start to the show for NXT. Really set the tone and showed the difference in the two shows going forward on the night. Then over on AEW, we had the Jurassic Express versus the Dark Order. Solid match. I really like Jungle Boy is becoming one of my favorites. He's been one of my favorites, but every time I see him perform, he's one of my favorites, hands down, on AEW. He shined really a lot here against Dark Order. Marco Stunt did well. I liked some of the tandem offense they had here. They had one where it was, I believe it was Marco Stunt like flipped over into like a flipping senton, launched himself off of Jungle Boy into one of the members of Dark Order. While he was guillotined on the second rope. This was one of the better matches of the night, one of the more entertaining matches of the night. Of course, Marco Stunt eats the pin. Dark Order then offers Marco Stunt a spot in the Dark Order. Stunt almost takes it, but Jungle Boy gets involved. They beat up on Stunt and Jungle Boy, and then holy hell, we thought he was gone until 2020. Luchasaurus comes out, destroys the Creepers, beats up on Dark Order, and makes the save. He is back. Jurassic Express is a full unit. Let's go. Luchasaurus is another one of my favorites in AEW, and I am so happy to have him back. I think that's a strong candidate for my moment of the night, simply because of the fact that we thought he was out for a much, much longer time, and it ended up only being a few weeks. Then over on NXT, we find out that Rhea Ripley and Tegan Nox have been attacked in the back. We don't know who it is. Just referees and medical staff checking on them in the back. Then we go into Finn Balor coming out and making a promo. It seemed like he was cutting a promo. We were expecting Johnny Gargano to come out and say something, but he's been ruled out of War Games due to an injury. So Matt Riddle comes in and takes out Finn Balor. Finn Balor's kind of like just got nothing to do now that Gargano's hurt. On NXT, kind of unfortunate for him. He's kind of involved in like the championship a little bit, but the championship's not gonna be defended at War Games, so it's awkward. But this flowed really well. Riddle came out, beat up on Balor. Why? I guess because Balor was like offering a challenge and stepped up, and Riddle was just like, bro. Then the Undisputed Era hits the ring. Team Ciampa comes to make the save. Nice little promo. Keith Lee got some nice mic time, and he's really good on the mic with Roddy Strong. This led into Roderick Strong versus Keith Lee. These two fellas went at it. Really great, strong, solid wrestling, pun intended. Roddy Strong ends up not picking up the win. I believe, was it Keith? Was it Rod? I believe it was non-title, and Keith Lee picked up the win on Roddy Strong, the North American champion. Good look at Keith Lee. Good way to build him up, push him, give Team Ciampa some momentum as we get close to War Games. All solid stuff right there. When we cut back over to AEW, we had Darby Allin versus Shawn Spears versus Peter Avalon. Avalon starts off the match looking for a crossbody, eats crap absolutely right off the bat. Match doesn't get too far into it when Joey Janela in French braids gets involved, attacks Shawn Spears, and that pretty much frees Darby Allin up to hit the coffin drop and get the pin on Petey Avalon, who is just there to take a pinfall. Okay match, not too bad. Like that it furthered the Spears Janela rivalry and showed that they're not quite done yet. I assumed they weren't because it was put together so quickly before Full Gear. So cool to see. Then we had Aaliyah versus Gia Lee, and it looked like this is another thing. Noses got messed the F up. I can say F because it's just an initial. Got messed the F up on NXT tonight, and Aaliyah was the first victim. They announced Balor versus Riddle. I did not hear that, probably because I was listening to other stuff. Big Stupid, thanks for clarifying. They announced Balor versus Riddle at TakeOver, so Riddle's gonna take Gargano's spot, and so now they have to find somebody else for Team Ciampa. Dominic Dijakovic, by the way, after the Lee and Strong match ended, once Lee won, Undisputed Era immediately attacked Keith Lee. There was a scramble and a brawl, and Dijakovic came out and cleaned house, cleared up Undisputed Era. So he's joined Team Ciampa, but now that Riddle's gone, they still need a fourth member. Going to be interesting to see who they can find there. Maybe Pete Dunne, but as we'll see, Pete Dunne's kind of occupied. Maybe it'll be God, why am I blanking on his name? I'll think of it later. And also brought up by Breezy, when Darby Allin won his match, he also accepted Moxley's challenge. So we will be getting Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin. Back to Aaliyah versus Xia Li. Kind of a okay match. Xia Li caught Aaliyah in the nose. Aaliyah started bleeding. Xia Li beat Aaliyah, from what I recall. Kind of a match, pretty much the low point of NXT. It was made awkward by the by the injury to Aaliyah. So that's that. Then we went and got into Nyla Rose destroying Danny Jordan. Basically just your standard squash match to build up your big heel. Nothing wrong with that. Just wasn't, it's a squash match. There's not much you can say about it. Did its job. Then it cut to an Alley promo in AEW. They were talking to Allie, and then Awesome Kong Brandy Rhodes came out. They beat up Allie. They took a lock of hair, just like they took B. Priestley's in the buy-in for Full Gear. Solid promo. I'm really interested to see, I've loved the Kong Brandy promo. I'm interested by this gimmick. I want to see if something comes of taking the locks of hair, because they kind of have that pseudo voodoo gimmick kind of going. Like dark magic almost. So I want to see the hair kind of play into something, be that kind of like a voodoo doll. They can kind of maybe sort of, maybe not control the actions, but maybe like possess or maybe take over certain characters. Maybe they form like an evil heel stable, but like it's a little weird to do that with Allie, since Allie's one of the few faces they have in the division. I'm intrigued to see what happens, but I'm not quite sure what's going to happen, and I'm unsure. Then we go back over to NXT, and we find that Team Baszler's been attacked. So the question is, who's doing this? It clearly was, there must not have been somebody from Team Baszler who attacked. The prevailing theory, one of the theories going around during the stream was, maybe it's Dakota Kai. maybe Dakota Kai attacked Team Rhea Ripley, and then they staged the attack on Duke and Shafir, just to try and like lull Team Ripley into a false sense of security. But we will find out that wasn't the case as we get to the main event NXT. Meanwhile, we get to the segment that everybody was looking forward to the most, and I think ends up being one of the most disappointing parts of the AEW show. The Jericho MJF Cody promo starts off with Jericho coming out and talking. MJF, beautiful to come out to Cody's entrance. That was great. MJF starts talking about Cody, does his traditional heel stuff, and everything he's saying about Cody is great heel heat. I love it. And then he and Jericho get involved. They start talking to one another. They tease, is he going to join Inner Circle? I liked it a little bit, but then this is going to be the thing that happens with this promo. The joke went on for too long, dragged on for too long. Cody comes out, gets physical, huge botch by Jericho. Cody goes to give a spinning power slam like Dustin Rhodes does, but Jericho isn't ready for it. They awkwardly tumble to the ground. Cody recovers and they go for it again. They hit it good, but damage already done. Then the promo gets even more convoluted because also before Cody attacks Jericho, they both say like, who's the most annoying person on AEW, who's the biggest jackass. You think it's going to be them, but you know they're going to say Cody. They both say Cody and they hug. So you're like, okay, I guess MJF's in Inner Circle now. But then as Cody's attacking, he takes out Jericho. He's staring down MJF. Wardlow finally shows up and debuts, and he attacks Cody. And yeah, the physicality on Cody's good, but now I'm confused because MJF's giving orders to Wardlow. It looks like Wardlow's now MJF's heavy. I don't think MJF needs a heavy. I think MJF, yes, I like that he's a smarmy heel, but one of the appealing things, he's a smarmy heel who could back things up. I don't think he needs a heavy. Maybe Wardlow needs a mouthpiece, and MJF is his mouthpiece. We still didn't know whether or not MJF has joined the Inner Circle. I guess he hadn't because he has Wardlow. Like, that was the thing. Like, this just needed to be a promo of MJF coming out, saying his piece, and leaving. I don't think Cody needed to come out and counter an attack. It would have been nice if they handled it well, or if it didn't drag on long enough. I don't think it needed Jericho. I think it could have been fine with just the Jericho MJF stuff. But this went on for way too long. They tried to fit too much stuff in and they crammed it. This could have been like one of the like make it moments for AEW, and I don't think this is going to hinder MJF at all. He says it himself. He's the face of AEW. I think he's going to be the future face of AEW for years to come. Bright future ahead of MJF. But I felt like this could have been a signature moment for the company, for the brand, and for him. And it just kind of became a convoluted mess of a promo. And it's the biggest disappointment of the night for me. Then we get over to onto NXT. Bronson Reed and Isaiah Swerve Scott have themselves a heck of a match. Bronson Reed at one point teases an avalanche tombstone, which scared the hell out of me. Swerve Scott picked up the solid win. I like both of these guys. Match was fine. Again, work rate on NXT. And this isn't to say that AEW has been bad, because the next match in AEW was arguably match of the night candidate. But I feel like NXT has consistently had better work rate than AEW. AEW has been better at telling a story across has been better at storytelling and telling a story across the course of a show. And they still have solid matches. But as far as pure work rate, NXT's got it. Speaking of AEW and work rate, their work rate match, arguably match of the night, was Paige versus Pac. The rubber match, these two killed each other, as they always do when they go after one another. Ultimately, Pac gets the win, wins the rubber match. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. I kind of, like, here's the thing. I love this match. Don't get me wrong. Why did you need a rubber match between these two? You give Paige a win finally over Pac, and then he loses immediately. I kind of don't get it. Like, it's almost kind of sort of going to 50-50 booking or a little over. I don't know. The match was great. Just storyline wise, I didn't understand why you would do this. If you wanted to have this where like Pac ends up strong, just have him beat Hangman the second time. Don't give Hangman the win. But I did like that he won with the God, I can't remember the name of his what he calls his Rings of Saturn. But he puts that in on Paige. Paige taps or is out, and he doesn't let go. I liked that. Great match, great work, great match. Match of the night on the AEW side, definitely. But just as I was just complimenting AEW storyline stuff, I didn't get a lot of the storyline decisions this week, like the whole MJF stuff. And with this, like, I didn't understand why you needed to give Pac another win. If you're going to give Pac another win over Hangman, don't even give Hangman that one win over Pac unless you're just doing it strictly for rankings to give Pac a win in his or Hangman a win in his standings. In which case, just have him lose to Pac and then maybe have him pick up some sort of win here. I don't know. Like, it was just weird. Then we had a brawl between the Bucks and Proud and Powerful. This was an example of good storytelling from AEW. Good all-out brawl. Hilarious moment of the night when I believe it was Santana and one of the Bucks brawl their way to a bathroom. They accidentally open the door and Orange Cassidy's just sitting there leaning there, and Santana just awkwardly is like, this is weird, gonna close the door, and as he closes the door, eats a super kick. Good brawl. Bucks end up standing tall, standing strong. They survive. I remember, somebody went through the stage. I think it was Santana and or Ortiz. I just remember seeing, I believe it was Nick Jackson sitting out there on the stage, and then Matt coming to check if he was okay, and they both looked like they stood strong. But I could have been wrong, and it could have been Proud and Powerful. Put him through there, walked away, and then he crawled his way out, and then the Jacksons came out. Just, man. I was, at this point, I was trying to focus on both shows. We were in a conversation in chat, so I apologize on that one. Death Crow, you were talking about the MJF thing. You were going to say that promo sounded long when you guys were talking about it. It was. He still thinks that Dakota Kai took out Tegan Nox and Rhea Ripley. Then we had, over on NXT, we had a Priest Dane segment where and Dunn and Dane were beating each other up, but then Priest hit the ring, cleaned them both out. So it looks like we're going to have an interesting triple threat match going on. I don't mind. I love all three guys. And Priest and Dunn have killed it together in the ring. So I think hopefully the addition of Dane only makes things better instead of hinders it. Then we go to the AEW main event, SCU versus Inner Circle. Really weird that they had this. I guess the whole reasoning was just a reason to have SCU get another title defense in here. SCU managed to emerge on top. It was still a really good, strong match. Sammy Guevara almost died after he landed on his head. Jake Hager and Jericho had to check on him after that. Hit Nick with the sock and Matt through the stage. Okay, so Matt went through the table. Okay, so Proud and Powerful. I thought that's what happened, but I was a little confused. Thank you guys for the clarification. So still, I think the segment overall is as a whole is good, and now having the ending clarified, I like that. Keep Pride and Powerful looking powerful. Anyway, back to the main event. Again, Sammy Guevara on a German suplex landed on his head, and almost his head, and it looked like his head might have scrunched up his neck. It was scary. Again, Hager and Jericho checked on him. Luckily, he was okay. Again, SCU, their finisher should not be SCU later. It should be the small package, because they got their second win. Scorpio Sky got a small package on Jericho, has a pin on the AEW champion. Jericho throws a fit. By the way, Hager and Daniels got him. Christopher Daniels got involved on the outside while the finish kind of stuff was happening, and the show goes off the air with Jericho throwing a fit. I'm glad SCU won. Kind of went out on a whimper. No real story stuff going on. Kind of like what? From AEW. Meanwhile, NXT was like, oh, we see an opening. We're gonna kick the damn door down. Mia Yim versus Io Shirai. Those two ladies killed it, and Mia Yim was nearly killed. Yim had the worst ladder match injury in this match, legit, that I have ever seen, or that I have seen since Joey Mercury when Eminem faced the Hardy Boys. Io Shirai goes for a springboard dropkick to Yim, who has the ladder up. Shirai does not get the ladder in the middle, instead gets to the top, and the top of the ladder goes right into Yim's nose, busted open. She bumps, and as she like leans forward on the cell, you can already see the blood on her back from her nose spurting out. You can see the blood dripping on the middle of the ring. Doctors rush in to help her, and Shirai has to like sell like the bump killed her to do the drop kick. Had to slowly try and build the ring. I was terrified for Mia Yim. Props to her. The doctors eventually got the blood to slow down enough for her to continue the match. She is a trooper, continues the match. Dakota Kai comes out. We all think she's gonna turn. We're all thinking they orchestrated this whole thing. She's gonna turn. No, she actually helps. Power bombs Io Shirai to keep her from winning. Right as Yim's about to win, Kaylee Ray, I believe it was, or was it, or God, crap, why the NXT UK Women's Champion? I don't follow NXT UK too often, so I apologize if I screwed it up. But I believe it was Kaylee Ray or Kimberly. You guys will correct me in the chat. Comes out, straight up murders Dakota Kai, throws her head first into the stairs, and then takes out Mia Yim. Mia Yim, my God, how is this woman still alive? After the injury she suffers beforehand, gets dumped. Kaylee Ray. It was Kaylee Ray. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Death Crow. Comes and dumps out Mia Yim through a ladder set up almost like horizontally, on the guardrail and the apron, and lands kind of awkwardly, almost like half sideways, and then hits the canvas hard. If she's not legitimately injured, I will be shocked. But Mia Yim, MVP of the night. This is a debut. I'm debuting, thanks to Big Stupid for the suggestion, mentioning it in chat earlier, MVP of the night, where I will hand an MVP award to whoever stood out the brightest on the entire night, and I am giving that to Mia Yim. Saw on Twitter that Mia got a standing ovation as she walked out, and Keith Lee, who she is dating, came out and raised her hand. She deserves it. I cannot believe she survived tonight. I cannot believe the bumps she took. Mia Yim, hands down MVP of the night. Anyway, Kaylee Ray, after she dumps Mia Yim out, Io Shirai helps, gets the win. Shayna Baszler comes out. It looks like Team Baszler is finally formed. We've got Baszler, Io Shirai, Bianca Belair, and now Kaylee Ray, the NXT UK Women's Champion. But as Baszler's celebrating, we find out who the actual culprit and attacker is. We got our invasion. The whole show, no main roster involvement. Bayley shows up, delivers almost like a hammerlock. I guess this is maybe like her new finisher. A hammerlock, headlock driver into the title belt, takes out Baszler and leaves. Show over. Wow, what a way to end the night. That's how you end the night, with a bang. AEW's been able to do that consistently. Wasn't able to do that tonight. Maybe they were petered out from Full Gear. I don't know what happened with AEW. We don't even have to go over all the other awards. NXT won tonight, so it's 4-3. We're almost even now. Strong showing. NXT didn't miss a beat from what they've been doing. They've been consistently solid. And AEW had a rare slip-up, a rare stutter. I don't want to say AEW was bad tonight. They just disappointed, they underwhelmed, and it was a good show, but it could have been great, and it wasn't. She debuted last week. She debuted it last week on SmackDown. That move, cool, Big Stupid. All right, nice. So we already gave MVP of the night. We have moment of the night, which I will give to the return of Luchasaurus, because we did not expect Luchasaurus to come back, and he came back earlier, and I love Luchasaurus, him just coming back, making the save, destroying Dark Order, and reuniting with Jurassic Express. For me, owns moment of the night, because I try not to give moment of the night something that happens exactly in a match, more something like post-match or in a promo, unless some sort of interference. The Kaylee Ray, I think, is a close second, though. Kaylee Ray, Bayley interference, close second. Match of the night, as I'm looking to everything, I think I've got to give it to that Cruiserweight Championship match of Lio Rush versus Angel Garza. Second, we'll probably go to Paige and versus Pac, despite the storyline hookups I have about that. That would be the silver. Bronze going to... well, actually, you know what? No. I got to give that ladder match. I got to give that ladder match of the night. Why I'm talking about that ladder match. I didn't mention it. I got to give the ladder match of the night. Ladder match, Yim versus Shirai, match of the night. Rush versus Garza gets the silver. Pac versus Page gets the bronze. And then if we're going to keep going, I'm just going to fire these off as I read them. Keith Lee versus Roddy Strong would be fourth. I would say Jurassic Express versus Dark Order probably would be fifth. Then I would give Bronson Reed versus Isaiah Swerve Scott sixth. And I believe that's all the matches on NXT except for Aaliyah versus Xia Lim, which will probably be at the bottom. Then I would give SCU versus Inner Circle. Then I would go to Darby Allin versus Shawn Spears versus Peter Avalon. Then Mox versus Nakamura. Then I would probably go with Nyla Rose versus Danny Jordan, simply because nobody got hurt there. And then Aaliyah versus Xia Li at the bottom there. So that's my rankings as far as the matches. Again, match of the night goes to that ladder match. MVP of the night goes to Mia Yim. Moment of the night goes to the return of Luchasaurus. And the victory in the Wednesday Night War for Wednesday, November 13th goes to NXT. They are one victory away from evening up this Wednesday Night War, at least in my book right now. It started out at what was strongly AEW in the first month. And in the last 3 weeks, I believe NXT's won 2 out of 3. So AEW's got to step their game up next week. Let's see. Big Stupid said, I'm hoping Dream is the new fourth guy. Yes, I totally forgot about Velveteen Dream. And it makes sense because as long as he isn't injured, Roddy Strong and Undisputed Era took him out. So he can perfectly fit in there. So hopefully Velveteen Dream will fit in there. I think it's going to be 5v5, 5-on-5. Tony has to be getting in on this match. Possibly. I would love to see Tony Storm involved. But yeah, they don't have a fifth heel unless, like Death Crow said, Dakota Kai turns. Dakota Kai turns. Tony Storm shows up 5-on-5. Maybe. Possibly. I'd be down for it. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'd be down for it. But anyway, that's going to do it for my reaction, recap, and review for the Wednesday Night War for Wednesday, November 11th, 2013. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate everybody who came into the stream and got involved in the chat, both during the show and afterwards. Right now, doing the reaction, recap, and review. So thanks to Laserscope, Death Crow, Big Stupid, Breezy. I believe that's everybody who came by and got involved in the chat tonight. Thank you to everybody who came by to the stream and lurked. Thank you to everybody. Woof. A little bit of a gas coming up. Thank you to everybody who watched on YouTube. If you did watch on YouTube and you enjoyed this, be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Let your friends know. Come on by to Twitch. If you do also check out Twitch, drop me a follow over there and come get involved in the chat on Wednesday nights. Every Wednesday night, we do the live stream watch party, and then we do this reaction, recap, and review show. So that's going to do it for me. I'm going to get out of here, guys. I'm also going to end the stream. So thanks, everybody, for coming. Take care. Also, thanks to my lurkers. November 11th, 2013. I messed that up. November 13th, 2019. Thank you, Breezy, for helping me out. And don't forget to join the Discord server, as Big Stupid just dropped in the chat. Thank you again, like I said, to all my lurkers who come by and watch on the stream. You're appreciated, even though you don't get involved in the chat. All right, guys. I'm getting out of here. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Peace, deuces, and I'll catch you later.